early teens or your 20s, then you're probably familiar with the feeling of getting older and realizing that you kind of want to go back in time and tell your younger self something. Wishing you had done your younger years differently, like living life a bit more. And none of us want to feel that way again. So I have taken the liberty to ask some of my favorite millennial ladies what advice they would give to Gen Z.
My advice to all the Gen Z babes is just to explore your interests to the fullest. You want to DJ? Why not? You want to knit cardigans for dogs? Go ahead. Don't worry about it flopping. Don't worry about looking stupid. Just enjoy yourself and explore.
Don't rush. You have more than enough time, more time than you think to achieve your goals. Don't be pressured to achieve things based on anyone else's timescales. It's better to do things well than to do things in a hurry.
If you want even more advice, there's a whole article with plenty of opinions from different millennial women on the Black Ballad website right now.
I was 18 telling everyone around me, I'm going to be a superstar. And everybody's going, yeah, whatever, she's an egomaniac. And then, haha.
You girls keep me young. Ugh, I love you so much.
If you are a girl who's in school, you should have a hobby outside of work, education, or your relationship. I'm 20 years old just now discovering hobbies and things that I enjoy doing. Because when I was younger, my biggest focus, I wasn't into sports, so apart from that, my only other focus was literally school or working. Being an adult, trying to figure out things that I like is very different. I had an internship that was full-time. After that ended, I was waiting for classes to start. In between that time period, I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? Since then, I definitely dedicated myself into finding hobbies that I like. I like doing my nails. I like going out to eat, going to classes. Like, just try something new and see what you might like.
January 11th of this year, I was laid off. I hesitated in sharing this because honestly, when it first happened, I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm only 23, and I think that this time in my life is very much so rooted in finding my way. I think gratitude has saved me in a lot of places. It's the reason why I'm able to look at the situation as redirection over not being good enough for a CEO that doesn't even know my name. It took time, but the way that the universe works, when you really want something, everything will work towards you getting that thing. As the puzzle pieces came together, I slowly started to become aware of the ways that doors can open, and that even something as jarring as a company-wide layoff may lead to something greater. That's me looking at the positive side, but when I think about it, if life is like two mirrors, one good and one bad, then what is reflected back to you is simply whichever side you're choosing to look at.
Turned 26 a couple months ago. These are the 5 uncomfortable things I have learned thus far in my 20s. Number 1, my self-love has to be stronger than my desire to be loved. Number 2, I'm not responsible for what is done to me, but I am always responsible for my emotional reactions. Number 3, your life will be defined with how you handle uncertainty. Number 4, the relationships in my life are mirrors of the relationship that I have or should have with myself. Number 5, when things go wrong in my life or there's a storm in my life, shifting my perspective is everything. Instead of why has this happened to me, I think, what am I supposed to learn from this? Hope that helps.
Y'all, I literally treat my solo dates as if I'm going to meet a boo. Like, I kid you not, I will pick out an outfit, I will beat my face, I get excited, and I'm just like, yes, it's date night, let's go. I just love being able to have these solo experiences and just love on myself and pour into myself. But also understand, like, I don't need a partner in order to have these moments and to have these experiences, to try a new restaurant. But if I'm showing up for myself in this way, then that's the energy I'm putting out to receive back in a partner. And I just know it'll be special when I do have that person who I can share these nights with one day.
Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you.
So let me raise a toast to the girl I love most in the whole world. Please don't say my name. Please don't say my name. Darla.
No, but I'm actually like serious because millennials think we're like babies. And I'm just like, I'm not even the oldest of us. We're in the work world. We do things. We drive. We pay for things. We work. We get our MBAs. Me. I don't know. I'm not a child.
I've lived in 3 major cities since I turned 21. LA, Atlanta, and Dallas. And child, here's my thoughts. 1, it is so important to get out of your hometown, experience a new space, and be able to figure out who you are and what you like and what it is that you're really looking to get out of life. It is so easy to get caught up being comfortable and playing it safe in the area that you grew up. And a lot of times that FOMO and that comfortability is not conducive of who you are and where you're trying to get to in life, okay? Growth does not exist a lot of times in our comfort zone. I just dropped like 3 gems, but number 2, exposure. My mind would have never even been open to the possibilities that are out here and just understanding how big the world is if I never left my hometown.
Miss Rabbit has fainted. Miss Rabbit has fainted again.
What I wear is a Gen Z professor.
I can take rest, cause the living God is living in my chest. Every day I wake up feeling blessed, and even if I don't, I see it as a test. Cause I was lost until you found me. Now I know you're all around me. Nothing I could ever do could separate my love from you.
I went from being completely isolated with no social life to having the friend group and friend circles that I desire. This is episode 2 of the Confessions of a 20-something series. The biggest shift that changed my life was being more intentional about my friend group. Because we all know it's hard to have friendships as an adult because life be lifing. First, I had to get rid of the victim mentality that, oh, they not hitting me up, so I'm not hitting them up. No, hit them up, because just like you're not hitting them up, that's why they're not hitting you up. I also just started showing up for people the way I wanted to be shown up for and supporting them in whatever they had going on. And I cannot say this enough. Networking events, networking events, networking events. If you want to meet like-minded women or people that are doing the same thing and on the grind, go to networking events. And the biggest change was realizing that people are not perfect. They are going to make mistakes, and communication is key, girl. It's time to put yourself out there. Good luck.
Bestie, why are you searching for stability in your early 20s? Why? But don't worry, this is something that I had to learn myself as well. Our early 20s are actually completely insane. Every single week looks different. Every single month looks different. Sometimes every single day looks different. One day we can be employed, the next day we can be unemployed, making 0 income. We move to new cities and leave the friends that we made at the past city behind, and then end up friendless. Breakups because of long distance, so it just ends up not working. Family not living in the same place, so you genuinely feel very disconnected. A lot happens. A lot happens. It's just scratching the surface right there. But because of all of this instability, I find that a lot of us in our early 20s start searching for stability. And I think a lot of us girlies do it a lot of the time by searching for stability in a relationship. And I'm going to talk about the issue with that, or at least my issue with that. Sometimes being so desperate for stability will end up making you sedimentary in the wrong place. Like, not every place is the place that you need to be stable in. Embrace the lack of stability so that eventually you can end up in a better stable place, instead of just being so desperate for stability that you end up stable in a place that you're not supposed to be, and that's not right for you. So I think about this a lot when I think about the fact that my relationship life right now is so like all over the place, and it seems so hard to even just like find someone to be like dating consistently. But I remind myself that like
is that even the place that I want to be stable in? Like, I'm someone that wants to do all this crazy stuff, live in all these different places and travel. Like, is that the stability that I want? Like, sometimes you're sacrificing a whole specific life for yourself to live one life. And so sometimes that place that you think is so stable and it hurts in the moment to accept not being in that place is just really not the place for you. So sorry that it's so unstable, but hold on tight, because I promise you there is a place of stability coming eventually that is way better for you.
My birthday's next week and I've been doing some self-reflection, so I'm going to share with you guys 10 things that I've learned so far in my 20s. Number 1, do not be easily offended. In most situations where you could be offended, the person is usually projecting their own insecurities on you, so don't waste your energy being offended. My mom always told me when I was younger not to take anything personally. I always had a hard time doing that when I was younger because I'm kind of an intense person. Like, I'm a Scorpio. I kind of want to take things personally naturally, but nothing really is personal. So don't be offended and don't take offense. Do not waste your energy being offended. Number 2, hold your tongue. Do not overshare. Don't over-explain yourself. None of that. There is so much power in literally just being silent. Also, when you hold your tongue and you watch what you say and you're so careful with your words, you don't really have room to regret saying anything because you were thoughtful with your words and with your tongue. So hold your tongue. Number 3 is to be cool with losing friends and be cool with everybody not liking you. Everybody is not going to like you, and some people are not going to like you just because you're you, and you can't please everybody. So don't worry about pleasing everybody. Don't worry about how you're being perceived. The only person that you should be focused on pleasing is God. Number 4 is to fall in love with going to the gym, fall in love with being active, fall in love with being able-bodied and being able to move your body. I never hated going to the gym or hated being active, but over the past like 3-4 years, I've literally fallen in love with the gym. It's a part of my lifestyle. I need to go to the gym. I feel better when I go to the gym, and we are so blessed to have the ability to move our bodies. Not everybody can move their body, so go to the gym and be healthy. Like, take care of yourself physically, not only mentally but physically. Being active is so important. Number 5, and I love this one, I just learned this one probably way too recently. If you feel like you have friends or people around you that you can't 100% be yourself around, trust that feeling. Those are not your friends, and get out of there. And on the contrary, if you have found people that you feel like you can 100% be yourself around, then that is a safe space and you should stay there. Trust your instincts. Number 6 is to stay away from people who don't like the truth. People who don't like the truth are always in some shape or form going to be stagnant, and we don't want to be stagnant. We want to evolve and become better versions of ourselves daily. So stay away from people who don't like the truth. Number 7, if there's something that you want to do but you're scared to do, that probably means that you should do it. Taking risks is usually good, and you're probably going to get a very, very good reward from it. Number 8 is so profound and so true, and it is that the relationships that you have in your life are a mirror of the relationships that you have with yourself. So how you treat yourself is literally how others are going to treat you, and you set that standard. Number 9, I love this one so much. You have control over your thoughts. What you think, you become. Our brains are literally magic. You can control what you think. So control what you think. Control your thoughts. Number 10 would be to fall in love with the process and to fall in love with the journey. It's really, really easy to get frustrated with your process and with your journey to where you know that you're supposed to go. And I feel like social media makes it really, really easy to compare your journey to somebody else's, but your journey is your journey. And I have to tell myself this all the time. God literally has a plan that's written out just for me, so I can't compare my journey to the next person's journey. And when you fall in love with the journey and fall in love with the process, it makes it that much better. Trust that God has a plan just for you, and he will never leave nor forsake you. Those are 10 things that I've learned so far in my 20s. Hope that you guys found it helpful. Let me know some stuff that y'all learned so far in your 20s. I'll see you guys later. Happy Scorpio season. Bye.
Love to be no regrets kind of girl, but I will be very honest, I have regrets, and one of my biggest ones is not enjoying my early 20s more. So listen the heck up if you are in your early 20s. I know you're uncomfortable. I know you're waiting for things to be figured out. I know you're waiting for a better job. I know you're waiting for more money. I know you're waiting for the love of your life. I know you want to be a mom. I know you want to travel. I know you want to do all these things that seem kind of out of reach when you're in your early 20s, trying to establish yourself, trying to find your career, trying to figure out who you are. But all I have to say is enjoy the freaking journey. You don't have to get to your destination to enjoy your journey. Or you don't have to be at your destination to enjoy the journey, because that's one of the biggest things that I have learned now in my last year of my 20s is that we have to learn how to appreciate ourselves where we're at while we're on our way to where we're going. Because otherwise you just wish and wish and wish the days away, and you realize you're not fully enjoying your life for what it is right now, and you're going to look back and regret that. Or maybe not regret, because I know a lot of people are no regret kind of people, and I think that's a really great way to be, but I just really feel strongly about helping people realize to enjoy the now. And honestly, I needed to hear this just as much as I needed someone else to hear it, because I'm doing it still in my late 20s, where I'm still striving to be more and do more and want more. And I think I'm going to be so happy when I get to that spot. But the truth is, you can be happy right now. In my early 20s, I didn't have a lot of money. I wasn't feeling fulfilled in any of the jobs that I was doing. And I felt really lonely. Like I really wanted a relationship, couldn't seem to find that. And I was just miserable. And wow, when I look back and see like how miserable I was, I'm like, that was so stupid. Like, you didn't have kids, you didn't have responsibilities. The world was at my fingertips. Like, I could have done and been anything. And I chose to be unhappy. Don't make the same mistake.
Beware of the jealous older person in the workplace. I didn't really know if I was going to end up talking about this on here, but it really is a problem that I've dealt with for a long time now. And I want to make sure that, like, you guys know that, like, if you feel this way, like, your gut is right, like, they're jealous of you. If you're young and you're, like, really doing your thing, like, you landed that fire internship at that company, there's somebody older at that company who just seems like they just keep sliding you, but you're like, why would they be sliding me? Nah, they're sliding you. You have to realize that a lot of people older than us are really intimidated by our generation because we do not do things the traditional way. And we also have a lot more access to specific opportunities that they probably did not have back then. Just a lot of things are different. Especially if you're just like super ambitious and young like me. Like, you're just constantly making opportunities for yourself. And sometimes they can see just how far you're going to go, and they know it. And it makes them uncomfortable, so they will start belittling you. And it sucks. Like, it really sucks. Especially because, like, for me, I personally feel like I have wanted a mentor figure so much in my career, but then I genuinely, like, kind of, like, stopped wanting one. I definitely have a couple, but I think it's been harder for me to make those connections because, like, people don't necessarily want to help me. Because the thing is, for a lot of people, it took so much for them to get to that place. Like, that person that's older than you and sliding you, like, it took so much for them to scrap and put it together and make their life what it is at that point. And sometimes they pass down, like, this struggle mentality of, like, you have to go through all of the crazy bad stuff that they went through in order to get to their point. And if not, they don't respect you. So it's like literally in a way they're like hazing you. Child, it's a mess. But yeah, just beware of it and know that if you feel like that's what you're feeling, it's probably what you're feeling. I've dealt with this for a while. I've had 6 internships and like own my own business, and I used to honestly like try to lower my vibe so that I don't intimidate people because I know how I end up coming off. But like, not anymore. I'm just like, child, they're gonna have to get over it. Like, I'm sorry that I made do with what I have. Like,
to the girls in their 20s, maybe early 30s, let's have a chat here. So I was on Twitter and I saw this tweet, and I was trying to find it before I even made the video so I could put it on the screen. But it was basically about this girl saying that she was taking her 20s to pour into her cup. Like, she's not rushing anything. She's trusting the process basically and living life. And I said, that's what I want to do. I feel like we live in a generation where everything is put online. So sometimes we feel behind when we shouldn't even be feeling behind. Like, the social media girlies are, for example, I'm not trying to comfort nobody, but let's really talk about it. You could be strolling on TikTok, scrolling. You could be scrolling on TikTok. Now, here's you. Let's just say me, okay? For example, me. 22, even though I just turned 22 in January, about to be 23 in January. Okay, yes, I graduated from college a year early. Yes, I have a job, but it's not my dream career. I'm living at home with my parents because student debt is trying to take me out. No man. yes, I'm traveling, but it's not giving like travel. It's giving like little travel, not the big travel. Like, I'm trying, but that's how we could feel. Just even, do you even hear how I said, okay, yes, I have all these things going on, but I'm still able to travel. I'm still working, having income. We would discount the great things that are happening in our lives, the things that we should count as blessings, because it doesn't look like what the people are showcasing. Like, because again, you could be on TikTok, someone your same age is saying they're stay-at-home girlfriend, luxury apartment, view of the city, driving a Tessie, like, just living life. And here is what I want to tell you. Everybody's journey looks different, and everybody's values are different. Look at me. Just like I said, no men. But baby, if I wanted one, I could have one. Now, would he be of substance? Now, would he be godly? Would he be everything that I want? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But one thing I know that Taylor Lindsay is not doing is settling and lowering her standards and tolerating foolishness. So I'd rather be single and wait on the Lord rather than try out, go and get the man to do all this stuff and deal with craziness. Do we follow? So to the girls in their 20s, do not overwork yourself. Operate from a place of rest, knowing that God has already worked everything out. Take this time to find you. Start eating healthy now. Start prioritizing spa days, travel, whatever it is in the way that you can. Don't try to go out and do too much because the girls are doing too much. Getting a face mask from Target and sipping a glass of wine, and that's what it is, until you can afford the regular spa. All I can say is find your happiness within you. Take this time, because this is the time you will not get back.
These are 3 things I wish I knew about dating in my early 20s. First is that just because someone doesn't see your beauty does not mean it's not there. Not everyone is gonna like you. And I know all my people pleasers are shaking in their boots right now. Some people will think that you look like the gum on the bottom of their shoe, and some people will think you are the finest thing since sliced bread. Go where you're wanted. It's all subjective, it's all relative, so you have to know that you have worth and beauty and value even if other people don't see it. You thinking you're beautiful should not be cause and effect just because someone validates it. You have to know that to be a steadfast truth. Second thing is that your current environment is only a microcosm of the world. What does that mean? That means that just because you don't see something in your present reality doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I grew up going to a PWI from the time I was 11 to the time I was 21. I was not the standard of beauty in those spaces. Therefore, I didn't have the same dating experiences as my peers. For the longest time, that became my truth. That's how the whole world was going to be. I was not wanted. I was not going to be a priority when it came to dating. It wasn't until I studied abroad in London that I realized that the world is so much bigger than the small PWIs that I had gone to. And sure, you might be like, duh, of course the world is so much bigger. But physically being able to see that being in a different environment will change my lived experience, will change my current reality, was something that I needed to experience for myself. And I needed to see that in real time because they was loving me overseas, okay? And the third thing is that you need to believe people's actions over their words. How someone treats you is a better indication of how they feel about you than what they tell you. Does this person meet your standards, or did you have to justify even giving them a chance? Do you have to constantly make excuses for this person's behavior? Do they say one thing and then act another way? Inconsistency and lack of action is very telling about how someone feels about you, especially when you're dating men. When they want someone, they will put pressure behind it. You will know that you're wanted. A golden rule is if you're confused, it's a no.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're on some sort of journey, spiritual journey, any sort of healing journey, and you just want to, better yourself, I don't know what it is, but personally, I wouldn't talk to guys. Focus on yourself. Men are mad. They are fucked up. They will fuck with your head. And it's always the ones that you don't think it is. You know what I mean? So just... It's like so annoying because it's like, I was good. I was fine. I was so good on my journey and you came and fucked shit up for me. Don't do it, guys.
Hey guys, Rashia Nicole here. So this message is for all of my young ladies between the ages of 18 and roughly 25-ish, okay? So I have a 22-year-old daughter, and she and I went shopping. We brought her friend along. Her friend asked me, Mrs. Parker, can you please give me some advice? Like, what type of advice would you give a 22-year-old about life? I said,
sit on down, honey. I got it for you. So some of the things that I shared with her, this ended up being like a 2-hour conversation throughout our trip. However, I'm going to share some of the pointers with you as a professional business owner, woman, and a person who is in school for clinical mental health counseling. I'm going to give you some advice that could probably help you out. So here we go. Number 1. The biggest or one of the most important pieces of advice I can give you is obtain some type of education. Now, it doesn't have to be formal education. If you don't want to do a 4-year college, then that's not your thing, don't worry about it. But what I do want you to do is go get some type of skills training. So if you don't go to a 4-year university, or even if you don't decide to go to a community college, go and get some type of formal training. There are so many ways to be educated out here and to obtain education, certifications, certificates on different skills. There's so many ways to get it out here, but definitely get it. The time is now. And when I tell you the technical field is it. So if you are even remotely interested in that, please, please, please go get you some type of education or skill. People can do what they want, but one thing they can't take from you is your knowledge, okay? When you know different, you move different, and you do it because you can. So education definitely puts you a step above the rest. Don't listen to nobody who tell you it doesn't. The next piece of advice I can give you, don't waste your time with unfruitful things, people, or habits. So unfruitful things, people, or habits. If you know that you are messing around, or you done seen the red flags of these things or people or habits that you know is not going to progress you, don't even waste your time with it. Time is not on our side. If you ask somebody my age right now, if they could go back and tell their younger 22-year-old self some advice, I can guarantee you it's going to be a thing, it's going to be a person, or it's going to be a habit that they're going to want to break, okay? So don't even waste your time with those things. When you see the red flags, run. Just go ahead, be done with it. I could do a whole dissertation on that, but we'll keep going. The third piece of advice that I can give you, make smart financial decisions. Guys, poverty runs deep, all right? And that not only runs deep in our pockets, but it runs deep in our minds. So poverty has the ability to impact generations and generations and generations. So what you want to do is break the chains of poverty now. Start making smart financial decisions right now. And what that means is, just because everybody got a Gucci bag or a Louis bag, don't sit up here and try to blow your refund checks on how to go get you one. Don't sit up here and jump on the next scam or the scheme because such and such got away with it. Don't do that. Make smart financial decisions now. Take care of your credit now. Just because you're 18 does not mean you need to have bad credit. It doesn't. Start to establish that now. If you need help, or if you want to learn how to grow and establish your credit, I do a lot of mentoring. I've been mentoring for well over 10 years now. So I know how to at least help usher you into the financial space that'll give you that base education on what it is to have a bank account, a credit card, a debit account, how to use those things and maintain those things. Hit me up if you need the help. Just drop it in the inbox or the comment section. The next piece of advice that I have for you is find a mentor. I just told you guys, I have a mentoring organization for young ladies between the ages of 12 to 17. It's called Girls Destined for Greater Mentoring Group. We have a nonprofit organization called the Happy Confident Future Foundation. Listen, if you don't join me, find yourself a mentor. And this mentor needs to be somebody that you can look up to. If they're doing good for themselves in life and they're doing legal stuff, if they are in a type of career that you want to be in, connect yourself to them, network with them, let them know like, hey, I'm young and I aspire to be where you are. I would love to be your mentee if you're willing to take on a mentor. Get to know these people. Having a mentor can definitely change your life because they can show you the ropes and they can help you avoid some of the mistakes that they may have made on their climb up. So get a mentor. Again, if you need a mentor, talk to me. All right. Last but certainly not least, I need you to heal. All right. And I know you're young, but I need you to heal. And not only do I need you to heal spiritually, but I need you to heal physically. All right. Healing is about it's a two-way path. So you can heal internally and externally. The healing part on the inside is the trauma, the things that you've gone through, the things that bother you that you don't talk to nobody about, the things that keep you up at night and you thinking about those things that make your heart ache when you think about it. Let's get you in therapy. Let's get you a counselor. Let's start to heal and go through that. If you are a spiritual person, let's learn how to pray, connect to God, talk to God. You got to heal that inner part. The next part, I need you to heal physically. Now, when you're young, you can eat all the hot Cheetos and the flaming hots and the drinking and all of that, and you think it won't catch up with you. Baby, I can guarantee you that it does. So what you put inside your body eventually comes outside of your body, all right? So when you take care of your body, give yourself the water, the nutrients, the things that you need to be physically healthy, you go a lot further. So those are just my quick 5 tips that I have for you. Share this with a young lady if you think she could benefit from them. And if you want me to drop some more, let me know, because baby, once I sat down and thought about it, we had a whole conversation with a whole bunch of stuff that we covered. So if you like these tips and you want some more, let me know. I am more than happy to help. Talk to you soon. Bye.